This episode is brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency. If you're looking for an insurance agent with a personal touch, someone willing to have the real conversations about what's important to you, assistance with submitting claims, and offering quality coverage options, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency may be the place for you. Whether you need home, auto, farm, commercial, life, or health insurance, we're here for you. Check us out at agentzachmiller.com. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
Welcome back to another episode of Touching Base. I'm Zach Miller, joined by my co-host Vance Neidig, and we're thrilled to introduce Jordan Heiderman, a local professional MMA fighter. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm glad we were able to work this out. We kind of had a little conversation at the bar one night, and I said, hey, you want to come on the show? He's like, yeah, definitely do that. So super excited to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of perfect timing. You know, I got a upcoming fight, and so get to kind of tell my story and promote the fight. And
good. That's awesome. Let's start kind of from the beginning. Where were you born and raised?
So I was born and raised here in Norfolk. We moved to Fremont for a few years, but came back here, finished high school, and just went to Norfolk Public.
What was your child like here in Norfolk?
It was good, pretty normal. I come from a hardworking family, so that is instilled in me, and that's where I kind of get my drive to compete. So came from a decent sized family, 2 older brothers, a younger sister. So we were always just kind of messing around outside, beating each other up. And to be honest, my sister's probably the toughest one out of all of us.
Yeah, she kind of had to be probably, right?
Right.
So you went to Norfolk High, you said?
Yep.
Any activities, sports?
Yeah. So I played football for Norfolk. We did pretty decent there. And then I wrestled for Norfolk as well, and I had a pretty good few good wrestling seasons there. Was state runner-up 1 year, 2-time medalist, 3-time qualifier. So yeah, high school athletics went pretty well, which led to me, pursuing the next level, to continue competing in sports. And I didn't know if I was going to go the football route or the wrestling route. And I was thinking, like, money-wise, like, what can I do after college to continue being a professional athlete to make money? Because MMA back then wasn't that big of a thing. So I wasn't thinking wrestling. I'm like, football, I can go to the NFL. So that was my goal, and I went for it. So I went to Iowa Western Community College, and I walked on. I was an undersized D lineman, and it just worked out. I redshirted, put on a bunch of weight, and I just busted my butt there. And I ended up earning a starting spot. I was a captain that year. And we did well. We ended up going to the Graphic Edge Bowl, winning that. And then the following year, so my second year playing there, I was a team captain again, a starter, and we ended up winning a national championship.
Wow. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
What made you decide on Westland?
Yeah, Iowa Western.
Or Western, sorry.
To be honest, I had a girlfriend at the time who was going to UNO, and I was going to try to go to UNO, but they dropped their football program.
Oh, they did right around that same time, huh?
Yep. So I found the next closest school, and it turned out to be a really good one and a great decision for me. The relationship didn't work out. But,
that's okay. At least it got you there and got you where you wanted to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you win the championship.
Yep.
And where from there?
So I actually wrestled a year or 2 at Iowa Western.
Oh, okay.
Which I made it to nationals, and quite the experience. It was their first year with the wrestling program. And I would just kind of hang out after football practice and watch the guys wrestle. And they had a duel the next day, and the coach was like, "Hey, you want to wrestle?" I'm like, "Sure." So I did, and then I just finished out the second semester for him. And my football coach was so worried that I was going to lose all this weight wrestling, because wrestling practice is a lot different than football.
Right.
But I actually ended up keeping my weight about 265, 270. And then after wrestling season, I just shot up because I wasn't working out as hard. And so that's kind of what led me to, because I was undersized at the time to go Division I, and that was my goal.
D1 football.
Yep, D1 football. And so I put on all this weight after wrestling season, and I was moving good numbers in the gym. You know, I had a great season coming off a national championship year, and led to an offer from Indiana University.
That's really cool. So what did you do to put on all that weight? Did you have a nutritionist there at the school, or you kind of just did it all on your own?
Yeah, so I'd go to Subway and get all
Eat fresh?
Yeah, I'd get double meat, all the vegetables, and all the sauces.
There you go. Get as much calories in as you could.
Yep, that was my secret.
The sauces is probably what carried the most calories for you, huh?
Yeah, honestly, and I loved it.
That's good. That's good. So you put on a bunch of weight, got an offer.
Yep, and then I accepted to go to Indiana and went there for 2 years, finished out my collegiate years. And it was tough up there. You know, it's very cutthroat at that level. You know, you got coaches on your butt all the time. You got teachers, professors on your butt all the time. And then on top of that, you're competing every day for a spot on that team. And it's just didn't quite go the way I wanted it. You know, I played some special teams, got a little playing time here and there on the D line, but I'm not disappointed in my decisions to go there. Ended up being a great experience. And, you know, in Southern Indiana, it's so beautiful too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful campus.
You get a full ride there then?
I did. Yep.
So you said you kind of had the teachers on you. I always wondered, like, obviously I never played D1. How is it keeping up with schoolwork and everything while playing a sport? Like, how difficult is that? I always thought when you look at it, you see like, well, maybe they're just letting them by, right? Because they're athletes, but
yeah. So at a school that size, I was in classes with like 300 kids.
right.
So I was just a little speck in there. So the teacher didn't care about me. You know, if I failed, I failed, or if I passed, I passed. But you know, as an athlete, they stay on you to keep your grades to stay eligible. And my day started at 5:30 in the morning with strength training, and then we'd go do like a team run or team practice thing, light practice, and then I'd go to my morning classes till about noon or 1 o'clock, and then we'd come do football film and football practice, and then I'd go to study tables. And at that level, they're really good about put you in situations to help you succeed and getting you the tutors and the help that you need to make sure you pass and then are eligible to play. So they do a good job there.
Is like the study tables, is that when like the whole team can come in and like basically get tutored at the same time?
Yep. They have like academic advisors just for the football team. And they just kind of see like, oh, we know this is a hard class. A lot of our guys had troubles with it. We're going to get them a good tutor, you know, help them walk them through it and help them succeed.
What was your degree in, or what were you going for?
Yeah, I got a degree in sports marketing management.
Kind of perfect for your situation, right? Because now you can market yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
That's good. So you said 2 years at Indiana then?
Yep. 2.5 at Iowa Western, and then 2 years at Indiana.
That's really cool. What you get done with school, you get through playing football there. You didn't wrestle in Indiana?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So you played football there. Where'd you go from Indiana then? What path did you take?
So while I was at Iowa Western and I wrestled there, I made it to nationals, and there was a recruiter for the WWE.
It's funny because you said something about wrestling, and I said you could go WWE, couldn't you? And I was going to say that, but he's like, we need big guys, and you're an athletic big dude, so give me a call if you want to make money. And I'm like, oh, man, I want to do this, but I know I'm going to go finish out my schooling. And so I waited 2 years, and I ended up hitting up with that recruiter, and I went and did a tryout in Miami, and it was pretty wild. And then that's right when I came home from college. And so went there. I ended up not making the roster or tryout team, but it was a cool experience. You know, there was just giants there, and they were all jacked to the gills, like 7 foot, 6 packs, you know. It was all natural, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. But They loved me because I crushed the workouts. Like
Yeah.
I was in such good shape when I came back. I was super strong, and I was helping out with the Norfolk High School wrestling team. So I was doing the practices, and I was doing extra cardio because I knew I was going to go do this tryout. And so it was a kind of a neat experience to do. I wasn't that when I was a young kid, I was a huge fan of it, but it kind of faded. And but to be able to work out and get paid to do it and kind of go be a clown on TV,
Right.
it would have been an interesting life for a while.
Did they, when you went to that thing, did they teach you how to take the bumps and do all that? Or did you kind of have to learn on the fly?
Yeah. So they kind of showed us, but yeah, it was like a quick weekend tryout type thing. And I was doing somersaults and flipping and stuff. And a lot of the guys coming in had prior wrestling experience. So some of them got matched up to put on a performance for all of us. And so it was pretty neat. And I became a fan after that. I'm like, I have a lot of respect for these guys because this stuff actually hurts.
Yeah. More goes into it than people really think. It's fake, but not really, the outcome is fake, but the hits you're taking and the bumps you're taking are pretty real.
Yep, exactly.
Did you have to learn how to do a fake punch though? Or like a fake, the stomp with the...
No, we just did a lot more like tumbles and flips
Gotcha.
and running the ropes and stuff like that. So
those kind of pinch too, right? When you're hitting the ropes and coming out.
Yeah. Well, the planks on the mat it's just wood. It's no rubber or anything.
Right.
It's just a plastic cover and wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the ropes too. They got a little bounce to them. But yeah, it was quite the experience.
I always wondered how long it took people to kind of like get the bounce off of that to get it, just right to where you're not springboarding yourself flying away.
It took me a while because there was 4 of us in there and we all run at each other and we had to stop on a dime. But I bounced like 4 foot in the air on this one. I'm like, gee, Chris, because I had 7 foot tall guys that were 300 pounds on the other side. I'm
Right.
like, these guys are giants.
That's great. That would have been cool. Have you ever thought about trying to reach back out to him?
Oh, it crosses my mind every now and again because I know I can do it if I was put in like the right situation. Otherwise, I'm just kind of shy and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then you'd be acting, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not a good actor. Maybe.
That's funny. So you do that, and then where do you go from there?
Yeah. So then I knew after college, like I'm gonna go give this WWE thing a try and see how it goes. But I knew I was gonna start training MMA.
Mm-hmm. You already had that in the back of your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna if I can succeed in football, I'm gonna do the NFL thing. That didn't work out. So then I went to try the WWE. That didn't work out. So I'm like, okay, it's meant to be MMA. Let's go. And I went full steam ahead on that. Started training locally. We had a gym here in town at the time called the Scrapyard.
Where was that at?
It was at the Todd Euler's old spot.
At the Set the Bar?
Set the Bar, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. That was ran by Brooks Boyer. He was the coach there and worked with him for a lot of years and pretty much my whole amateur career. But they ended up shutting that program down. So I ended up going to Columbus to train. Great coach up there, guy named Nick Norris. Worked with him for a lot of years. And that's where I met some of my current training partners now, is from that Columbus gym. Yeah, but then that gym ended up closing down as well.
Was a lot of this due to like these gyms closing due to funding, or was it just lack of participants?
I think the owners, it takes a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if there's a lot of money in it in a location like this. Maybe
Right.
I'm not for sure what the real reason. I mean, Brooks, he ended up opening
His own
gym. And I know he wanted to spend more evenings at home, and he was
Right.
spending a lot of time with us training, which I get that. And then my Columbus coach, he ended up moving to Lincoln, and he's a coach up there, the MMA coach at Lincoln Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Yep. And he was competing there for a while, but then I think he's pretty much retired now. Yeah, so then one of my training partners from Columbus Gym, Spencer Rich, ended up buying out all the equipment from the Columbus Gym and moving it moving it to his basement. And so it was me, him, and this other big training partner of mine, a guy named Brandon Soul. He's 6'5", 290, 300 pounds. We just started grinding in his basement a couple nights a week.
Putting holes in the drywall.
Yeah, well, it was it was concrete basement wall. And for wall work, we put a mattress up.
That works.
Yeah. And then the word kind of went out, and we started getting more and more people. And he's like, well, we don't have enough room in my little basement. So we bumped it up to his garage, and he matted the whole wall. He had good space in his garage, and there was more and more people coming. And they're coming from Schuyler, Fremont, Columbus, Norfolk.
Was it just all word of mouth?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't do hardly any advertising. We have social media, but we just post stuff from the gym, like, hey, this guy had a match and won. And yeah, just word of mouth, I suppose. So then he ended up buying an old warehouse and turned it into a really nice facility.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the one
that's currently in Dodge right now. And it used to be the old cheese factory there. And we turned the maintenance shop into a pretty sweet training area.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you have like a training area for cage, or is it just kind of mats and?
Yeah, at one time we did have some cage walls, but me and my other big training partner got slammed up against them a few too many times, and they didn't last long. So we ended up going with just mats straight to the wall, and that works out just great. It's a similar feel to what you would get on fight night.
I always wonder because you can't grab the cage, right?
Cannot. Nope.
It really doesn't matter if you're practicing against it or anything really.
No. I mean, the flex of the cage would be the only thing, but some of those cages are so tight and stiff that there isn't no flex.
Right.
Some of them have a lot of give. So yeah, it just kind of just depends on who you're fighting for, where you're fighting.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's really cool. So you also you say you train somewhere else too, right?
Yeah. So I was training in Dodge for the longest time, and I started pretty much my LFA career training in my buddy's basement. My second pro fight, we were training in his basement, working against a mattress. And so we started building. I was, having a lot of success. I'm like, gosh, I really need to kind of explore a little more, find some bigger training partners, some top-notch coaching. And I just never really branched out and did that because it was either Omaha or Lincoln. But so I was sitting at 5-0 at the time, and my management company, they were doing heavyweights for the Ultimate Fighter. And he asked me, he's like, you want to be on? And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to be on. I'm a huge fan of the Ultimate Fighter. So at 5-0, training in a guy's basement, I went and did the Ultimate Fighter.
What year was that?
That would have been season 30, which was almost 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Yep.
So not too long ago.
Yep. Just under 3 years. Yeah. So that was a wild experience. I didn't know what to expect. You get flown into Vegas, and it was during COVID. So they were swabbing my nose every other day and had me locked in quarantine in a hotel for a week.
When you got there?
Yep.
Oh.
And we did all these testings and stuff, and to pick who they wanted on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up making it, making the cast or whatever. And so there was 8 of us picked, 8 heavyweights, 8 female flyweights, I think it was. And we all lived in a house for 6 weeks.
Jeez.
No contact to the outside world, no TV, no cell phones. Yep. Yeah, it was a wild experience.
You said 6 weeks?
Yep. 6 weeks in the house, 1 week in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it went pretty well. It could have went a little better. My first match, tough opponent, was against a guy named Chandler Cole. He comes out and rocks me right away with a cross, right hand. But then he hits me again. I think it was late in the first or early second with a spinning heel kick.
Oh no.
Yeah. It kind of went viral on the show or whatever. But I ended up coming back, getting the knockout, and getting the win to move to the semifinals. But I was rocked. Like, I was so hurt.
Right.
I should have not competed for 6 months, but I fought 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Jeez. That's the ultimate fighter for you, I guess, right?
Yep. That is how it goes. Fought a tough dude, Zach Pianga out of Colorado, and he ended up catch me right on the button. That wasn't very strong at the time.
Yeah.
So he got the win, made it to the finals, and
Do they still do where you get a title shot after winning that, or is that did they change that?
so no, you just get crowned the Ultimate Fighter winner,
Okay,
and then you get a UFC contract.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason they used to do, like, maybe 5 years ago, they'd do like a where you get a title shot right away coming out of there, but maybe not. I could be wrong.
I don't think you get a title shot. I think you get a fight.
Did you see a fight?
I think, like what he talked about, you get a contract. You
Gotcha.
get a fight.
Okay.
They used to say, I forget if it was like $1 million contract or a 6-figure contract or something like that.
Yeah.
Who was your coaches?
Oh yeah. Who was
were
the coaches on that season?
Yeah, so my coach was Juliana Pena. She was the female champion at the time, and the opposing coach was Amanda Nunes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That must have been kind of fun.
Oh man, it was great. It was great, and I'm so happy Juliana picked me. Like, she was such a great coach and a good person. So
That's good. And she said she was the champion at the time.
she was the current champion. Yep, and they were rematching after that TV show aired.
Did the person that won, are they still fighting in the UFC?
Yeah, Mo Usman. He's currently in the UFC still, and he's doing really well. He's like 3-1 maybe right now in the
Wow.
UFC, just in the UFC.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Kind of shows you, like, well, I lost, but these guys are doing really well.
Yeah, his brother. I don't know if you follow the UFC much, but his brother is Kamaru Usman. Is the middleweight champion for a lot of years.
Yep.
Defended the belt.
I don't know all the names, but I've recently been following it a little more.
He's the skinnier guy that he got rocked really bad and hasn't really been the same since he got rocked. Is that the same guy? Because he went down in weight or something, if I remember right. Is that him?
He didn't go down in weight, but he did catch a bad loss. But he just recently came back and got a sweet victory, and then he kind of talked a lot of crap. He's like, "I told you I'm not old. I'm still here."
Is that the bender or whatever, the style bender or whatever? Is that Usman or who's that?
That's
I think
Izzy.
that's the guy.
That's
I'm
Izzy.
thinking. Okay, maybe that's who I'm thinking of because I thought he got rocked really bad and then just hasn't. He lost a whole bunch of fights after one getting caught.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's middleweight. Kamaro's weight class below.
Gotcha.
170 or something.
That's really cool, though. Do you think once you're on, you probably can't get back on, right? They kind of.
No, so I was on the show with a guy who was like on season 5 or 6.
Oh, really?
And he was 40 or something like that. I forget his age. But yeah, Bobby Maximus. He was on season 5 or 6, and he reached out and they put him on because he's like this big influencer.
Oh, gotcha.
And he's just super fit and he talented jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he had some good striking. He had some highlights in the UFC back in the day. Ended up, I don't know what happened with that career, but ended up coming out, and then he wanted a second shot at it. So
Is that something you could do if you wanted to?
oh man, if they asked me to do it again, I would consider it. Yes.
Good.
So that first fight ended up getting fight of the season. So we ended up getting a pretty nice check.
Oh, with the spinning heel kick?
Yep. So
that's what I was going to ask you. You do get paid on there, right?
yeah, we get paid weekly, and then it made it all worth it when we got that fight of the season bonus. Otherwise, I was working at Volcraft here in Norfolk at the time, and I was making good money there.
Right.
And I had to quit that job to go do that show.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were so cool about it. I was like, hey, I'm in Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to make the show, but if I don't, I want my job. And I called them. I was like, hey, I made the show. I'm going to be done. They were really cool about it. So
that's the other thing I was going to ask you too. Do you have a job now? Like, do you have a day job?
I do. So I do all kinds of things. I bartend a little bit. I do some lawn care, and then my main gig is I train dogs for
Okay.
a guy out of Stanton. It's called Cedar Valley Hunt Club.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
And so we train dogs during the summer, and then we guide hunts over the fall, winter.
So it's things that a lot of the things you're saying are things that you could just kind of leave anytime if you got
Yep. And
something going on.
Yep. I told him that going into it. I was like, hey, like I'm interested in working and I still need to make money. But like there's weeks I'm just not going to be there. He's like, I get it. You're chasing your dream. You know, he's super cool. I actually coached wrestling with him at Norfolk. Mark Christensen is his name, and big supporter of me. And, you know, he's a pretty decent guy to work for too. So.
That's cool. I think I've heard the name before. At that, I'm really a face guy. I got to see somebody's face to know for sure. But I'm sure I know who that is. But that's really cool. So you train hunting dogs, basically, right?
Yeah, we specialize in lab hunting dogs, but we'll do all breeds and just do obedience training. They're starting a poodle line, a hunting poodle line.
Really?
Yep. So that's been kind of interesting in the summer. Not quite the same as labs as far as drive goes, but you know.
I always thought poodles were pretty temperamental.
No, they're just kind of silly. You know, they just kind of run in circles and goof off. But you can get them to listen. You can get them to hunt. Getting them to swim. It's kind of interesting to see this little house dog, you know, be a hunting dog.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I never thought that'd be the dog you would name. It was a poodle.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So let's we talked about the Ultimate Fighter. Was there anything else that we had discussed before the show that we kind of missed before we kind of get into the other questions?
I think we pretty much nailed a lot of my history, I guess. I don't know if you have any other questions.
So I've got a bunch of questions. I just wanted to make sure we nailed some of the stuff that you and I kind of talked about ahead of time. I was making sure I didn't forget anything. You met Dana, I'm assuming?
Yep. Got to shake his hand briefly one time, and then I got to sat down in his office, and I had to plead my case of who I wanted in the semifinals match.
Oh, gotcha.
Didn't go my way, but but yeah, he's just straight business, you know.
Yeah.
He don't care. He's like, what are you going to bring to the table type of thing. Let's see how tough you really are.
Right.
I like that, you know, straightforward guy.
Was he there a lot for the show, or is it just kind of spotty?
He was there quite a bit, but somebody who stepped in when he wasn't there was Forrest Griffin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't get starstruck at all. And I'm not going to fanboy. I'm not going to run up to you and be like, hey, nice to meet you. Can I have your autograph? But he stopped me and asked me what my name was and just kind of wanted to get to know me. And I'm like, man, that's pretty neat.
He seemed like that kind of a guy when he was on those shows every once, because he was a coach a few times, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just
he
seemed
was
like
the
a
original
good guy.
champion, and then came back and coached quite a few years. And
Oh yeah, he was the original champion of the Ultimate Fighter.
Season 1, yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that. And then he kind of got his shit rocked against Silva, right? Isn't that kind of in Philadelphia?
Yeah. I mean, I know he got knocked out by him.
Yeah.
But he was a champion at one time.
He was.
You can't.
He's a good fighter. I didn't like
tough fighter.
Silva in that fight because he was just kind of toying with him.
I know.
I didn't like how.
And that's just his style, though, too.
Silva
He destroyed so
Yeah.
many people doing that.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that kind of style of fighting though?
If you can pull it off, I guess. I mean,
Really?
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a few. We've been watching it a lot more here at the house, and I've just seen a lot more do it that way. And like, I really want them to get their ass beat
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, and it's just a swagger. It's a confidence thing. Technically, that's not how you should do it.
Right. Because you can get one shot and you're done.
Well, and that kind of showed at the end of Anderson's career that, you know, he wasn't moving quite as fast as he used to, and he got caught and he got dropped, and that showboating didn't work out.
Nope. Finally.
Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of get into a little bit more MMA. I mean, we were talking about MMA, but kind of your background in MMA. We kind of already talked about how you got into it. Was there you said you kind of knew because of wrestling after you had done football and all that you wanted to do MMA, but was there a specific moment or fight that kind of got you hooked on it, or you just kind of knew that you were going to do that?
I mean, yeah, like my drive early was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have all these amateur fights, and I'm going to become amateur champion. I'm going to I'm going to go on to be pro, and I'm going to go to the UFC, and I'm going to make all this money and be a champion. That was my drive as a young athlete going into it. But 10 years later, it's changed quite a bit.
I'm sure your outlook on it has changed. Yeah.
Yeah. I was bullheaded. I was training super hard, always coming home sore, hurt, because I was just going too hard, and I wasn't using any technique. I was just using muscle and bronze.
In the fights, you mean, or just in general?
Just in practice, and quite a few of my early fights. I won just out of sheer athleticism.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean,
right.
But I guess that's how I knew after the show doing the Ultimate Fighter. I'm like, man, these guys are at a different level. Like, I need to find some coaching.
Right.
Like, I need to find some training partners that are at this level. So then a gym up in Omaha, Skywalker 101, Danny Molina's the head coach there. And they have, at the time, they had Anthony Smith, light heavyweight, top 10 fighter at the time. And he was doing his camp in Omaha that year, or that fight versus Ankalaev. And they called me up, and I knew Danny. I seen him around the circuit, and I've always wanted to get there, but I was like, man, an hour, 45-minute drive to practice.
Right.
I just can't see myself doing that. And I don't see myself moving to Omaha. So I just kind of shot it down. But then he's like, hey, Anthony needs a big guy to roll with and get some rounds in. You want to come up this week? And so I went up, spent a week up there, did all my strength training with him, did all the practice rounds with him. And I was hooked. I was like, this is where I need to be,
right.
to get to a high level. So yeah, I've been affiliated with that gym for the last 3 years now. And it's just been a game changer. Still can't get myself quite to move to Omaha. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens after this fight. Consider a move, but Norfolk's been so good to me. It's hard. I got family here. I got ways to make money if I need to. If fighting ain't paying the bills. Yeah, it's just hard to move. But that gym up there is the best.
We just need to get you some cash so you can get a helicopter.
There,
and then you can fly.
Sign me up. Sign me up. But yeah, so I was training with UFC guys, some high-level regional guys, and I still get up there a couple times a week, to get work in with those guys. It makes for a long day, but ends up being worth it. So
that's good. It sounds like it's working out for you. Outside of wrestling, was there any other martial arts background before you kind of got into it, or were you just straight wrestling background?
Yeah, so a strong wrestling background. I had successful high school career, and then I went on, wrestled 1 year in college and made it to nationals. But I boxed a little bit in my junior high years. Had no idea what I was doing, but there was a place in Pierce Boxing, and just did a couple summers over there, and it was a lot of fun. Never actually had any bouts or anything. He signed me up for one, but there was a kid in the same weight class from the same gym, and he was better than me. So they put him in that weight class and bumped me up. And in boxing, you can't be any lighter than what that weight class is.
Right.
And so I was way underweight, and they scratched
Wouldn't
me
let
off.
you do it?
Yeah. I'm like, well, it's probably for the better, maybe. I had no idea what I was doing.
Especially when at that age when you're dealing with head shit, it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so I got a couple years of boxing in there, and it was pretty neat. One of the things we did after practice was do 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and I just carried that with me ever since. So I don't know. The weight room has always been my safe place, my place of happiness.
Right.
Yep.
Your sanctuary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Who were any of your biggest inspirations growing up, whether it was MMA or other sports?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my grandparents definitely have instilled some great qualities in me. I've looked up to both of them my whole life, and they just were great characters. yeah, so I got a lot from them, and they were proud of me. You know, they made it to almost every wrestling meet, every football game. So it was great to have their support, and you know, but then also like I guess like on the more famous note, speaking of wrestling, WWE, Stone Cold was always just a legendary redneck.
He was my favorite.
Tough guy. I know. Yeah, I loved his persona. So I always looked up to him, you know, whether it was a gimmick or not, he was just, you know, a tough dude.
Right.
But yeah, as I've been going through this MMA career and meeting all these famous, tough people, fighters, you know, ex-champions, it's like, man, I've never used to fanboy, but I kind of am. But yeah, just getting to meet some of them and getting to know who they are. It's like, man, that guy.
Once you see him, it's a different thing.
It is a different thing. So like Forrest Griffin, you know, I always thought he was tough, cool. He was humble. But then once I got to meet him and, you know, seeing how he was, I'm like, man, that is a good dude right there.
Yeah. That's one of those you meet your heroes and it was a good experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sucks to meet your heroes and they're just a bunch of assholes.
Yep. There you go. That happens.
It does.
Tom Osborne is a fucking prick.
What's kind of the story behind your first amateur fight? How did you feel stepping into the cage for the first time?
Yeah, first amateur fight, Columbus, Nebraska, at the Ramada Inn there.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Right there on the river.
Yep. They have balcony hotel rooms.
Yep.
So you kind of had a bunch of people around there. Then they had the ground floor all full, and it's for Dynasty Combat, local fighting promotion that's still going today. Went out there and I was strong as an ox back then. Like I was still lifting like I was a college football player.
Right.
And so I was just super strong. My technique wasn't there at all, but I went out there and just bull rushed this dude and just clocked him in the head. I ended up getting like a 40-second knockout.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's great. Just pure.
Yeah, just bull in a
strength.
china cabinet, just going at it.
That's funny. So you won that fight. That's good. How has like the local MMA scene kind of shaped your career? Any standout moments from fighting around the local area here?
Yeah. You know, and the fight scene around here is just, I think it's boomed. Like it's gone crazy, and they're starting to branch off, doing bare knuckle stuff, kickboxing stuff. So which is great. And you know, they're doing fight cards that they can do all three.
Right.
So that makes for an interesting night. But yeah, it's just crazy. And I think as my career went, I had no give me fights, especially as an amateur. Like they were just always tough opponents, and it was kind of hard to find me an opponent sometimes. You know, just being an ex Division I football player.
Right.
So it was just I had a lot of opponents fall out, but yeah, and then just the ones they found were tough.
I'm sure. So the other ones didn't want to fight you, and the ones they found were just tough SOBs.
Tough. But I managed to sneak some wins, you know. So I ended my amateur at 7-1. I won the Dynasty Amateur Heavyweight title, and then I went on to another promotion, Victory, and I won that heavyweight title as well. And I'm like, all right, time to go pro.
There you go. Win 2 titles, go pro. I get that. Let's talk about training and preparation. Walk us through a typical day in your training camp, or however you want to call it. How do you balance striking, grappling, and conditioning?
Yeah, so a typical day would be strength training in the morning, and I kind of split a 4-day split type of thing. I'm doing upper, lower. So I'll do strength in the morning, and then I'll go to work, and then I'll either head to Dodge around, 45-minute drive, so 6 o'clock, get there by 7. But if I'm going to Omaha, you know, we start practice at 7:30. But it just depends on the night, what we're doing. So we'll have our grappling nights, and we'll get a lot of live rounds in, which I like about that at both gyms. But yeah, then there's also slow it down. Let's break down this technique. You know, my coach up in Omaha, Danny Molina, he's a heck of a striking coach. and my hands have gotten so much better,
I'm
much
sure.
better. And I haven't quite had a fight to showcase them yet. Cause so after the show, I won one, lost one. So that's pretty good. I was still on the verge of like, hey, go get a couple wins and the UFC is going to be looking at you.
Right.
So I went to the LFA in Sioux Falls and fought, got a quick first round finish via submission. And then the PFL, which is the second largest fighting promotion out there right now, called me, said, hey, we need you. If you're interested, we want to put you in the tournament. And they run a tournament. So there's 10 guys, you earn points, and they've changed it now, but this was 2 years ago when I got called. You earn points to get to the finals, and you're guaranteed 2 fights to earn points. And then the top 2 high points go to the finals. And so I missed the first round on this particular tournament, and I fought in the second round, got a first round finish, and I got 6 points, which put me in the 4th spot.
Oh,
So I made the final 4
with one fight.
with one fight, and ended up fighting their number 1 guy, and he put the whooping on me, man. Just a tough Russian. And there's just levels to this game. You know, there's the regional scene, which I feel I'm very comfortable and strong at. And it just takes time to build up to that level. This guy had like almost 40 fights.
Oh, geez.
And
So just had experience.
I was 7-0 at the time.
Yeah.
And this guy had 40 fights. So yeah, the experience. And he was just, at the time, he was just way better than me. So after that fight, they gave me another shot. The PFL did, and went out there versus a very tough Brazilian. He's like 11-1 or 11-2 or something like that. Went out there and I clocked him good a couple times. You know, I had him rocked in the first, but you know, he didn't like that, so he took me down and did his jiu-jitsu thing. So he took the fight where he was good at. So I took a lot from those fights, though. You know, you gotta learn from them and build off of them. So that's where I'm at now. I'm coming off of those 2 losses versus 2 very high. I mean, these the one is probably top 5 in the world right now,
Really?
and the other one's top 20 in the world for heavyweights.
Wow.
So coming off those losses, you know, you gotta build off them. You gotta learn. So going into this fight, you know, I feel better than ever. You know, the body feels great. I'm in shape. I'm strong. My technique is there. Excited about this one.
That's good. Are you mostly want to be you stand? You want to strike? Is that kind of your game, or?
Yeah, so it's changed. So I used to be the wrestler, you know, go out there, swing a little bit, take them down. But yeah, now working with my striking coach, I feel so comfortable on my feet.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know I can take the fight to the ground if I need to.
It's probably hard to fight some of those Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys, though, right? If you don't really know. I mean, do you know a little bit about that?
I do. So at Skywalker, the head Brazilian coach, Scotty Morton, you know, unfortunately passed away this last year, but yeah, he took my game to a whole nother level as well. And yeah, so it's just been a great experience just working in that gym. And I think I've just upped my level of game and readiness and fight IQ. So I'm feeling very confident going into this.
So you don't feel like you have any kind of gaps anywhere where you kind of like you feel pretty solid to do about anything?
Yeah. Like I said, like my hands are there. My wrestling is always there. You know, I got to stay sharp with it.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that Brazilian fight, the guy from Brasilia for the PFL, I wasn't working any wrestling. So my defense wasn't there.
Right.
And he took me down, and I'm like, oh, he should have never had that takedown.
Right.
But it's just how it goes. It's the fight game. You know, you gotta learn from them and build off them. You learn more from a loss than you do a win.
Oh, always.
Yep.
Always learn more from a loss. Definitely. I watched this last UFC event, the main event. The guy, I don't remember where he's from. I can't remember his name. But anyway, he always wanted to take him to the ground and then rode his back the whole 5 minutes. I think his time on the back was 4 minutes every round. and they did not let the guy up. I didn't like the fight. It wasn't very entertaining, but I mean, if you can win that way,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know what fight you're talking about. Hazmed.
There you go.
I probably screwed it up as well, but Hazmed versus Duplessis.
there you go.
Yeah. And it was just a dominant wrestling performance.
Right.
Makes
Right.
for a very boring fight.
Right. Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
No, I don't. And I'm a fighter. Like, you want to see striking. And
Right.
Duplessis, so the little bit that they were standing, he lit him up.
He did. Yeah.
He caught him, and he's like, nope, I'm taking you down.
Yep.
But yeah, he could do nothing to get up.
So obviously he needs to work on his wrestling game a little bit, right?
Well, I don't know.
Or is that guy just that good at keeping people down?
The fans like a striker because
Agreed.
Duplessis got paid more than Hazmed.
Yeah. And they were booing during the fight.
And that just shows you, like,
I just wanted to get
popularity.
a fighter's perspective because I saw a lot of back and forth on
Yeah,
X
yeah.
about it was a good fight, it was a bad fight.
And you like listen to Joe and Dana, and they're like, "Oh, that was just dominant." I'm like, "Yeah, it was dominant because that's now your champion."
Right.
But people love the guy who's gonna make
He's
make
not
you
gonna,
believe.
He's not going to sell any
and-
tickets, right?
He will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Just to see him get beat or what?
Well, yeah, that's just it. So either it's good if they like you or if they don't like you.
Right, 'cause
If you're
either
just
way-
that average flow
Right.
in the middle guy, you're nothing. You
Right.
know, it's better to have them hate you or love you.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What is the toughest part of preparing for a fight, physically or mentally?
Ooh, the toughest part. It's definitely like the week of the fight, going into the fight, because you're just questioning, like, did I train enough? Did I train hard enough? Did I do too much?
So all mental going into the
Yeah, 100%. So that will mess with you, but I've kind of developed some ways just to kind of change my mindset, put myself in a better place and stay focused. But yeah, other than that, like fight night, I'm all game. Like I'm ready to roll.
locked in.
Yep. But there's a lot of waiting around, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just do this. Let's go.
Probably especially if you're like the main card. Is like there obviously is this fight coming up? Is there multiple fights, I'm assuming?
Yes. So they have an early card, and then they have a main card that's going to be aired on UFC Fight Pass. And I'm on the main card. I'm fourth fight of the night, and it's actually a pretty big card. I think there's 8 total fights.
Oh, so you're kind of right in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of surprising, with kind of my background and popularity as far as like the Ultimate Fighter and the PFL, and I'm fighting a local Minnesota boy. I'm surprised I wasn't up a little higher in the main card, but I kind of found out the reason why. Gable Stevenson is co-main event, making his debut. Who's wrestling gold champion, gold medalist.
Right.
So.
That's why.
Yeah, that'd be why. And I was wondering, like, tickets are almost sold out. I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, okay. Somebody super famous.
Right.
Especially in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who's in your corner, like your coaches, training partners that you take to fights?
Yeah. So typically I have my head coach, Danny Molina out of Skywalker. He's always in my corner. And up until last year, Scotty Morton was always there for me. And I've always brought along my main training partner, Brandon Soul. And so this fight coming in, it's going to be Danny and then Brandon. And those guys have been there always for me. I've been training with Brandon for 6-7 years now, and I've been working with Danny now for going on 3. So, I trust these guys to put me in the right positions to succeed. So
That's good. We kind of just talked about this, and maybe you can give a little bit more, but how do you adapt your game plan when facing different fighting styles like a striker versus a grappler?
yeah, so if I know I'm going against like a heavy wrestler guy, obviously you work your wrestling defense just to stay sharp on it. But my opponent, Steve Aspen, he's a striker. He's a dog. He likes to just stay in your face and throw punches. So, I'm not expecting that out of him. I think his style is going to fit my style. Neither of us is going to take a back step, and it's just going to be
A brawl.
A brawl. Yes, exactly.
So it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, exactly. And he trains with tough dudes, so he's durable. So it's going to be interesting. I'm super excited.
You're pretty durable too, aren't you?
I am super durable.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I like to be anyway.
How do you deal with pre-fight nerves? Like, the kind of that mental you were talking about. How do you kind of deal with those, or any self-doubt, any rituals or mental tricks you rely on?
Yeah. So I kind of always, probably a month or so out, I write a list of kind of like what I want out of this and what I want to focus on. And every time I catch a little doubt, I go back to that list. I'm like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is my purpose. And it refocuses me, and it keeps me motivated and ready to roll.
That's good. Glad that works for you, because it doesn't work for a lot of people. Writing stuff down and going back to it. Or they lose the list.
Yeah. I've tried doing a few different things, and this just kind of seems to work. I kind of come up with a slogan or a title of like what this fight camp is. And it's just like a little thing just to remind me, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm here.
What's your typical camp?
Just depends. So I can find out if somebody wants me to fight a week out, you know what I mean? So it's just like, stay ready maybe, and maybe hope. But for this
What's your preferred camp? Let's go with that.
Yeah. So I would like to know 2 months out would be great.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty typical for a lot of fighters, is 2 to 3 months, which seems like a long time. But
you don't do a full camp for that time, right? Or is it more like a 6 to 8 week deal, or?
Right. So there's no off seasons in MMA.
Yeah.
So you just always kind of keep training.
Gotcha.
But come around that 2 month area, you start upping the intensity.
Gotcha.
To get that fight rhythm and tempo going.
Because you don't want to stay at your full bore the whole time, right? You won't ever recover, really. That'll hurt the body, right?
I'd say it's impossible. And you're just looking at damaging practice opponents. Nobody's going to want to train with you if you're just blasting them in the face all the time. So definitely, when I'm not getting ready for a fight, I'm helping others get ready for a fight. You know what I mean? Good 8 weeks, and then you really up the training. So I'm sitting a little less than 3 weeks out. So I'm on the downhill slope. I'm in shape, strong. I'm obviously on weight because I'm an undersized heavyweight. But
how do you stay motivated kind of when training gets super grueling after a tough loss?
So that actually motivates me more because I'm so angry, and I usually typically know like right away. I'm like, gosh, I screwed up right there. I know that's like what the problem
without
was.
even going back and watching it. You just already know.
Yep. And I'm like, he just caught me there. He beat me to the point. And, so my only losses are via submission, just stronger grapplers.
Never been knocked out.
Nope. Been knocked out, but
yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
I won knocked out. But yeah, so I can typically, understand why I lost, and then that just motivates me more to like, let's get back in the practice room. Let's run this and run this and run this until I'm perfect at it.
Do you see some other fighters kind of shut down after a loss?
Oh, absolutely.
Or are they all kind of like you? Were they?
Yeah, everybody's different. And, everybody, some people take the loss and go take 2-3 weeks off, which you should. You should let your body heal and rest and get your mind right, and then come back in and get back to training.
Makes sense.
Have you, like when you talk about submission stuff, so you're more of a striker, you like to do the striking, and then you've lost by submission. Have you noticed, like, as your career's gone on, you've been a little more resilient to the submission? Like, it takes you longer to submit or not? Like, even if they got you in the same move, was it early? Because I'd imagine early on, if somebody got me in something, I'd be like, oh, fuck this. That's it. The first time somebody's going to get me in some move, and be like, no, I'm good. And then I just didn't know if like you build a resilience so that like I can last a little bit longer to try to get out of this.
Right. I mean, you kind of know, like if somebody's yanking on your limb and about to break your bones,
it's time to go.
It's either let them break it or you tap. So that kind of happened in one spot. I'm like, well, I don't want to be out with a broken arm forever. So I tapped on that. But then I went out cold from a choke. So it just kind of depends, I guess. the goal's not to get tapped, you know.
Right. Some of those guys let people break their limbs.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I've seen it, and they're nuts. They're
It's
nuts
wild.
for doing it, and it's not a suspension. You're out because you have a broken arm.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Now you're not training for 8 months.
Right. What percentage of the fighting do you think is physical versus psychological?
Yeah.
Is it 50-50? Is it
Gosh,
80-20?
put a number on it is kind of difficult for me because I find like a level-headedness the more I train and how I feel in training. So if I'm just crushing it in training, you know, my confidence is through the roof. But then like my training partners are on my butt and just kind of kicking my butt, and then my confidence goes down. So then it's like, well, mental game now.
Right.
But no, I'd say probably 60-40 maybe with the physical to mental.
Mm-hmm.
I've always coped with the mental very well. You know, I've competed high school wrestling, you know, and at state tournaments in front of big crowds in the finals and stuff. But and then football national champions, you know, on TV. So I was in front of a lot of big crowds. So it doesn't faze me much. Just staying sharp and positive. Just going into the fight, you know, just not doubting, knowing you did enough. You know, like, hey,
Right.
I'm ready. Let's just take care of business.
Well, from what I've seen, you seem like a pretty humble, down to earth, kind of level headed guy. So I think you're probably all right on the mental side.
Yeah, exactly. I try to carry myself that way. But I was on the show and I kind of like was trying to really sell myself, like, and I just was not being myself, and I didn't like it. And I was like, gosh, why'd I do that? Like, I'm not a salesman. Just be you.
Just be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be genuine.
Yep.
And maybe you kind of already talked about this, but maybe there's another instance. Have you ever had a moment in the cage where you thought, I might be in a little over my head here? And then how did you push through? Was it the Russian guy? Was it?
No, like going into that fight, I was like, I know he's good. I know he's got a lot of experience. Let's go out there and see what I'm made of. Cause I was undefeated at the time.
Right.
You know, 7 wins. I'm like, let's see where I'm at. So I was confident, you know, and I went in there, I caught him a couple times. We clinched up, but then he's a Sambo guy. I don't know if you know much about Sambo. They have these crazy throws.
Oh.
And he tossed me right to my back.
Is that like the hip toss throws
Yep.
type things?
Yep.
Okay.
And he tossed me right to my back. And I'm like, well, son of a gun. I didn't see that coming.
Probably happened so fast you didn't even.
Exactly. And then like I can usually get up, you know, like I'm good. And he was maybe a little weight wise smaller than me. He was a little taller than me. So I should have had no problem just pushing him up, getting up. But his pressure on me forward, and then he was just striking with big bombs. I'm like, Jamie, Christmas. Where'd this guy come from? So I hung in there as long as I could, and then he ended up finding a submission, and I ended up calling it a night, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. We kind of talked about that already. How do local fans support you? Any memorable interactions with them? Any local people?
Yeah, so that's kind of what keeps me around Norfolk is the support I get, you know, like with local businesses, with sponsorships. It's just been huge. Like there's been so much support as far as that goes. And then as far as like going to the events, like fighting at LFA, even in the PFL, like I fought in Madison Square Garden. That's when I fought that Russian.
Okay.
And I had probably 20 to 30 people there supporting me, like
That's
family
great.
and friends. And yeah, I just couldn't imagine. And it was just wonderful to even though I didn't get to win, but you know, I went out and got to hang out with my family afterwards.
Hey, you can say you fought in Madison Square Garden, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a cool feat.
Pretty sweet spot. Yeah. So just the support I get, like this here in Minnesota, I got family in Minnesota. I got family in South Dakota. I got people going up from Norfolk here. So it's going to be a great support group there. And I typically bring that to a lot of my fights, and I'm super thankful for that in my career so far. You know, I've been blessed.
That's awesome to hear. Are there any local promotions or events that have been pivotal for your career? Have you been able to fight in local events here? Have you ever fought in Norfolk?
I have. Yeah. A couple times. Let's see. Yeah. I fought a really tough dude in my amateur days. Oh man.
Was that out at Divots?
Yeah.
I think I was there for that fight.
Braden
pretty sure.
Erdman. He was so
Okay.
tough. He's
Yeah.
still tough, man. But he kicked my butt for 2 rounds. And the third, I'm like, I got to come out and give it everything I had. And I ended up getting the submission and a pretty sweet victory in front of my home crowd. And it was pretty fun. And then I made my pro debut here.
Oh, really?
Yep. But the guy came out and like pulled a hamstring right away
Oh,
and dropped to the canvas. And I jumped on top of it and the ref stopped it. And I'm like, what the heck? What a joke. Just take a punch at least.
right. Wasn't a great debut then.
No,
Oh.
I wasn't too excited about that
That's
win.
right. Think you'll ever get another one back here?
They were working on one. And I said, before I committed to this fight, I said, yes, I would be interested in fighting in a local show. Because honestly, I don't know if I have 10 fights left,
Right.
5 fights left, So to get a chance to fight here in my hometown would be wonderful.
Do you you said you kind of give back a little bit. Do you like mentoring young fighters? Are you able to mentor young fighters?
Yeah. So right when I came back from college, I instantly was up in the wrestling room, helping the high schoolers out and working with the coach up there, Coach Gray. And through that,
He's a good coach.
Oh, he's a great
Yeah.
coach. Great guy. And through that, I was able, I'm not much of a verbal leader, but I lead by action. So I just show these kids when I'm practicing and training with them, and then I'd break it down and walk it through them with them. This is where you messed up. This is where you can do better. Let's do that. And then I just would grind with them. So I felt like a lot of kids looked up to me in that way. And actually, there's one kid now that moved up to Omaha. He was a state champion for Norfolk wrestling heavyweight, Connor Cowling.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's one of the ones that just kind of comes to mind that is like a little brother to me now. He's always looked up to me, and I just trained with him every day in the practice room. Every day he was throwing me across the room. We had a lot of fun with it. But now to get to train MMA with him has been a blast. He's currently 2-0 as an amateur.
That's great.
Yeah, and he's training with a great gym up there in Skywalker in Omaha there. So at Skywalker, yeah. So it's kind of been fun little journey to see who takes from it and kind of runs with it themselves. And
especially because you kind of had a huge grind to get where you are now, and now the fighting scene is a little more prevalent, right? So you can see these guys kind of mature quicker, I guess. Or
well, yeah, just see the impact I've had on their lives. They seen me work hard to get to where I am, and now they're like, "Hey, man, I can do this too." You know, I literally went rounds and rounds with him in the wrestling room.
Right,
I can do that too.
Right.
You know? So that fills my heart, to be honest. Like that brings me joy. Instead of them out running around, fighting in the streets or whatever, go get paid to do it. Go do it in a gym.
Exactly. What's one thing you wish more people knew about the local MMA scene around here?
Oh man, it's neat. You guys should get tickets and go. It's a lot of fun. They sell beer, they sell liquor, they put on some pretty fun fights. Watching these amateurs brawl, and nowadays it used to be quick fights, and don't get me wrong, there's still quick fights, but these kids are training like they're full-time athletes and they're amateur, starting their career kids.
Right.
And I'm just like, Jane, man, Christmas, you spent how many hours here in this gym? And I'm like, but, and it shows because these guys put on phenomenal fights now, and it's pretty wonderful. And Dynasty does a great job of promoting, and they do draw a heck of a crowd. They do a lot of their shows in the arenas, like Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yep.
They changed the name, but it used to be the Ralston Arena or whatever it's called. But yeah, they always fill it up and put on some sweet fight cards.
That's great to hear.
Yep.
What's the most unexpected thing that's happened to you during a fight?
Unexpected. I guess something unexpected. Nothing really comes to mind, but I always have this fear of peeing my pants or something. Because you get hit in the gut, or you get squeezed super hard, or you just got this giant dude just body slammed you.
I think I'd be more scared to shit in my pants.
Yeah, exactly. And that has happened.
I'm sure. It
happened.
has.
Not to me personally.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. But yeah, I pee probably 10 times before I go fight.
I'm sure.
empty the tank here so I don't tinkle in my shorts.
I watched a couple documentaries on some of the WWE wrestlers, and some of them have done that in the ring.
Yeah.
Because they get slammed so hard and just shit their pants.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you could rematch any opponent from your career, who would it be and why?
Oh, rematch, eh? So Zach Bianca off the show, he got the victory. He earned the victory. He was ready that night. He was actually fighting with a broken hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that show is no joke. They're probably going to get in trouble for me talking about it. Yeah, I would like, even though he was my roommate in the house, we slept 10 foot away from each other. We were on the same team. We hung out, ate dinner, trained together the whole time we were there, and then we had to end up fighting that night.
Right.
But then after the fight, we went and had dinner. We hung out. But such a great dude. Just little sour how I performed in that fight. I know I had more in me.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I probably shouldn't have been in there. But I was in there, and he got the victory. So he got it. But I would like that one back.
Yeah, get that one back. What's the best advice you ever got from a coach or teammate that changed how you fight?
Best advice. Yeah, so kind of recently, this has kind of came to me, especially after these couple losses I took. I was trying to please everybody. I was trying to please my management, my coaches, my team, and it was just tearing me apart. I had nothing left when I came home. I can't make everybody happy. So now I'm doing it for myself. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not going to do it. So doing it for me, kind of, and people have said it towards me, and I guess I didn't connect to like what it meant at the time. But now, as I'm getting a little more experienced in my fighting career, I'm like, oh, that's what he was talking about. So just kind of doing it for me now, and not trying to please everybody.
Yeah. Do you think maybe if you could have got to that point sooner, that would have changed any of your career earlier, or do you think you're in a good spot now?
Well, I think as a guy grows through his MMA career and longevity of it, you're going to have different motivations per fight. And early it was like, I'm going to be a champion. I'm going to be the best in the world.
Right.
So my work ethic was through the roof, but I was always hurt and I was always tired because I was trying to please everybody and I was just training super hard. But now I'm training smarter. I'm still training hard. I'm still getting in all my workouts, but I'm doing it smarter. And I'm doing it for myself. So the motivation has changed and it feels good. It feels good right now. Yeah. And I think that's just natural how it comes through a career. Your motivations are just going to change as you keep gaining experience.
Yeah. People never realize that, even just in life in general. Like your motivations could change in a year, 2 years.
Exactly.
Like it's crazy how it changes pretty quickly. If you weren't an MMA fighter, what sport or career do you think you'd be doing?
Oh man, MMA. So I've just always wanted to be a professional athlete. So that was just my goal, whether it was going to be the football, the wrestling, or the MMA. And I've been blessed to say I've been a professional athlete where most of my income has came from fighting the last 3 years.
Right.
So I've been super blessed in that aspect, and I'm not done yet. So that's even the better part.
Yeah, you're still a pro.
Still a pro. Still got fights coming up. So it's a wonderful thing. But if I had to go a different route, I would always thought about joining the military. Yeah, that's kind of always something. I wasn't even going to go to college. I was just going to join the military right away. But, I'm super thankful with the route I went and where it's taken me so far. So,
did you just want to serve your country, or was there a specific branch you wanted to go into, or?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So my grandfather, my grandpa, he served, and that kind of pushed me. He was a Marine. And yes, I wanted to serve, do my part for the country. And I think I would have been good at it. I'm a pretty athletic guy. I'm kind of a little wild. I'm going to go head first into something if I have to. So, I would do that for my team. And yeah, so I've always had a what if I went that route type of thing. But I'm not disappointed with the way my life is right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I work with dogs all day. I go train, get paid to work out, essentially.
You get a pretty good life.
Yeah, can't complain.
What's your walkout song and why'd you pick it?
So it's changed over the years. For most of my amateur career, it was Sound of Silence by Disturbed, and I used that a few times as a pro, and it was good. It was good.
It's a good song.
And I guess I don't know the true meaning behind that song or what it stands for, but to me, it was like, I'm walking out, silent. It's just me out there. Yeah, I don't know. But this walkout song, I'm going to go with Hulk Hogan, All American.
There you go.
Yeah.
Little tribute.
Going to walk out with the American flag. But I've walked out to some Viking stuff. I've walked out to... what's the This Is How Legends Are
Oh,
Made.
yeah. That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, so it doesn't... I don't really care. Like, I've had the DJ pick my song before, too.
Oh, really?
So.
Just don't really care. You're just kind of in the zone.
No, yeah. It's not why I'm there for my walkout song.
Right, exactly. Some people think, they go through all these songs and pick it specifically for that. So I just didn't know for sure.
Yeah. And I've kind of stressed about it sometimes. I'm like, God, I'm making a big deal about this walkout song. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's just a song.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Who would you love to train with for a day, living or legendary? And what would you want to learn?
Oh, man, there's so many. A lot of the greats, man. Like the recent one just retired, Stipe Miocic or whatever, how you say his last name. He was just a tough heavyweight champion. Always, he seemed humble and firefighter, still continued to work. I think he still might firefighter. I don't even know. But I would always like to go train with him because he was an undersized heavyweight and he just kicked everybody's butt, but he recently just fought John Jones and lost. Pretty quick fight there, but I'm sure he got paid for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I used to never be a big fan of Daniel Cormier, but I've been following him lately, and it would be actually pretty cool to go train with him.
Would it?
Yeah, even if he's just the coach, and that's kind of what he's kind of ventured off into is being a coach, and I think he would be one of the good ones to go train with.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great career.
Oh yeah, fantastic. two division champion. Oh yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah. What's the weirdest food or habit you've picked up during fight camps?
So I don't really have to worry about cutting weight or anything. The max is 265. I currently walk around about 250. So making weight is not a big issue for me, but I do clean it up. No sweets. I'm not eating a bowl of ice cream or out getting wasted, drinking all these whiskeys or whatever. But just cleaning that stuff up and then getting ready for the fight. After the fight, though, I'm definitely down for some pizza and Busch Lights.
There you go. That sounds perfect.
Yes, it's always pizza, man. I just want some pizza. Greasy pizza.
It's the spot.
I try to cut the grease out,
Yeah.
Going into the fight. But yeah.
That's nice. That's good. If you could fight in any era of MMA, like the early UFC days or Pride FC, when would you pick and why?
Probably the early mid 2000s, right when it was on its rise.
Yep.
Because those guys, compared to the guys they got now, the level is not there. I would have been a champion forever. No, I don't know. There was a lot of studs back then, a lot of legendary guys. But it would have been cool to see how you stood against some of those guys.
Right. Because a lot of those guys were just single focused, right?
Yeah. Just tough striker, or a lot of them were street fighters even,
Right.
Didn't even have no true training. They just were tough fighters.
Right. Like Chuck Liddell, right?
Well, yeah,
Something
he
like
was
that.
known for being a street fighter, or the other guy,
Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Sly. Well, yeah, he
Yeah.
was a street fighter,
Literal.
and he fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
He fought in the UFC.
Yep.
What about Jackson? Rampage Jackson? Wasn't he kind of a...
Yeah, these are just straight brawlers. I mean, they eventually got into some gyms and stuff, but that's how it starts. You
Right.
know? They were beating people up on the streets, and they're like, well, let's get in a gym and see if I can get paid.
There you go.
There's this new thing called the Ultimate Fighter or the UFC.
Where do you see yourself in MMA in 5 years from now?
Ooh, 5 years from now. So like with the heavyweights, I'm 33 right now, and they age different. So you can go up into your 40s as a heavyweight.
Why
Yeah.
is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Just the durability, maybe. But yeah, there's been multiple champions that are 40 years old.
Is there less grappling? Maybe is there less like taxing on like legs and arms? Or I guess I don't, because you're taking harder hits, right?
But
As
your
a
body,
heavyweight?
your body can take them more.
Gotcha.
Like smaller people, when they get hit, generally
Causes
they're
more
not
damage.
getting hit hard,
gotcha.
but they get hit in the right spot that'll cause
Gotcha.
big brain damage.
Like, that makes more sense, I guess.
That does make more sense.
Okay.
But yeah, so these heavyweights, they last longer in the UFC. So going into this fight, you know, if I can get a good finish, early stoppage, you know, it's not far fetched to say that the UFC would be calling me for either a shot in the Dana White Contender Series or even just to the main UFC card. So that's my goal right now, you know, to go in, take care of business during this fight, and get signed to the UFC, and then I could spend the next 5 years there. That'd be all right.
That'd be great for you.
You know, even if it ends up being 8 to 10 years, you know.
Right. Is that your ultimate goal, obviously, is to get to the UFC?
Yeah, it's always been my goal to get signed to the UFC, and I got close. I was on the show, you know, The Ultimate Fighter, but yeah, that's always been the original goal, and it still stands. And I'm close. I'm close. I'm a good victory away. Maybe one more after this. We'll see.
That'd be really cool. We'll have to track your journey.
Yes, sir.
What's the one fight you dream of having, whether it's realistic or a fantasy matchup?
So a fight that I want and I know the crowd would want is just somebody that's going to be right in my face and just trade blows with me.
Right.
And they got to be durable, you know, because otherwise, if I just get a quick finish right away, the fight's over. But that's still a lot of fun, you know, a quick knockout.
Right.
But somebody that's just going to stand and bang and that's durable, and we just have a 3-round war. Like, I don't know if you've seen like Max Holloway.
Yeah.
He comes, points to the center of the cage. He's like, let's go. Last 30 seconds, we're going. And he did that to Justin Gaethje and just KO'd him just viciously. And so that would be like a dream deal for me, you know, just to call somebody to the center and like, and
Just trade blows.
We both just had 2 phenomenal rounds of just going back and forth. And now it's like, this is the last round.
Laying it all on the line.
Let's find out who's going to keep standing here. Yeah. So that would be something to hang my hat on there.
When it comes to the end of your career, how do you want to be remembered in the local MMA scene?
Yeah, I'm not for sure if I'll get into coaching. I've played around with it. Obviously when I'm in the training room, I help the younger guys out, because right now I'm training with 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds,
Right.
you know. I'm the old guy in the gym, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so I'm coaching. I'm giving them tips, you know, just based off of my experience, which I enjoy doing, but I don't know if I'll step into that. But yeah, I mean, I just hope they look up to me, you know, see what I've accomplished and where I've came from, and go after it themselves, you know, chase your goals. Not even just MMA. Like, if you want to go do whatever, just chase it, you know?
I like that advice.
Yep.
Staying on the advice side, what advice would you give to someone just starting out in MMA around the area?
Get in the gym. You
Get in the gym and get knocked around.
Yeah, you can't just be a tough guy in the streets anymore. These guys are athletes. Like, they are trained fighters now. Back in the day, you used to be able to get away with it, and still you might get away with it for a couple fights, but these kids are trained everywhere. They're trained with the jiu-jitsu, they're trained with the striking, the wrestling. It's all tied together now. So these young guys coming up, or the level of MMA is just going skyrocketing, and is going to keep going skyrocketing. So yeah, get in a gym and train for like 6 months, 8 months before you consider fighting.
Even get in a fight.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
If fans want to follow your journey or support you, where can they find you on social media, upcoming events, things like that?
Yeah, so I post all my upcoming fights and stuff on my social media, my Instagram, Jordan_Heiderman. And then I got a fan page on Facebook as well. You can check out. Follow me and see where I go with my fighting career.
Definitely. Any shout outs to sponsors, family, or teammates who've helped you along the way you want to give?
Oh, there's too many to list, but just all the sponsors have been great. I've had so many great sponsors over the years, and then the support I get from my friends and family, my coaches, my teammates, they all know I love them and I appreciate them, and I'm doing this for them, and I'm doing it for myself as well. So let's go out and get the victory.
There you go. What's one question you wish people asked you more often about being an MMA fighter?
Ooh, that's a good question. One question
that you wish more people would ask you.
Well, I get asked a lot, why are you doing this? Why don't you just go get a job, a real job? I don't know. I like doing this. I don't know. It's either working a factory or sitting in an office all day. That stuff doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I want to be in a gym. I want to be on a mat. I want to be grinding.
And if it's keeping you, if you're staying pretty, financially stable, I don't see why not.
I've been able to make my ends meet for a good while now, and I'm super thankful on that aspect that, I'm able to drive to Omaha and get my training in, and it's been wonderful.
You don't have to give specifics, but like what are, roundabout, like what are you making on a fight?
Yeah. So the LFA doesn't pay as much as obviously the PFL or the UFC. So I'm recently coming off of the PFL and I was making some pretty good checks there. But how it works is like you get so much to show up, and then if you win, you get double.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. So you're incentivized to win.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then like your sponsorships to help with like training or what?
Yes. To cover the extra expenses as far as training goes, whatever your coaches need as far as travel goes and stuff like that. So,
gotcha.
And which is, it helps out great. Like, I got so many good sponsors that just are so willing to give and support my dream of chasing this career. So it's been wonderful.
Because travel's probably pretty expensive.
It can be. So the LFA will pay for me, everything of mine, and one other coach. And then you always bring a second coach or a training partner or whatever. And that's on your dollar. And then they'll give you meal vouchers and stuff. So they're pretty good about taking care of you. But there's stuff that comes out of your pocket, like medicals and stuff like that, training gear, gym fees and stuff like that. So that's where the sponsorships come in play. And it's just such a huge help when you got people supporting you in that aspect.
That's great to hear. And a lot of that's local, I'm assuming. Local support for that?
Yep. 99% of my sponsors have been local businesses, people that, I run into on a regular basis, and they're always cheering me on. And it's been pretty wonderful.
That's awesome to hear. So let's talk a little bit about this fight coming up in Mystic, at the Mystic Lake Hotel and Casino in, was it Prior Lake?
Yep.
Minnesota?
Yep.
And you're fighting against who again?
Steve Aspen, something like that. His last name. Tough opponent, tough local Minnesota guy. He's 5-1 record wise. And he trains some tough dudes. So he's durable, super durable. And really you got to kind of look at his record. His one loss is to a guy that just got signed to the UFC and popped for a lot of steroids.
Oh, really?
So he had to have been juicing when he fought him and caught the loss. But so, you're looking at a very tough opponent, and I think it's a great matchup for me. I think I'm just better everywhere as far as athleticism goes, striking goes, wrestling goes. I think I'm just a better athlete, and I'm just excited to get an opponent because I know he's going to be tough and durable. So I'm going to have to really put on, a top-notch performance to beat this dude, and I'm excited for that opportunity.
That's great. So it's September 12th.
September 12th.
You said tickets were kind of flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
So can you still get tickets, or is it?
As far as I know, there are still some general admissions. All the front row table seats are sold out. But I checked like a week and a half ago, and they said limited supplies.
Limited supplies. So I guess he's got a a QR code on his Facebook page here if you want to get tickets. If not, it's going to be on the UFC Fight Pass.
Yep.
Right. That'll be fun. Make sure you kind of watch that. It's going to be a fun fight, I think. Right.
Absolutely.
And a good event. It sounds like if they're having all those other fights, eight fights.
Yep. Some big names on the card. LFA always puts on a phenomenal show. And locally, there's always a couple bars here in town that will put the fights on and get a good crowd. So makes for a great atmosphere. And it's going to be a good night.
Is it usually like a Mel's office?
Yeah. So Mel's has always been a good supporter, and they always air the fights. Office bar is where I bartend at. And yeah, they've been a great sponsor, and they always air the fights as well.
Great to hear. Anything else about your fighting journey or anything about this upcoming fight or anything that you want to discuss before we get into the Would You Rather portion of the show?
Oh, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we talked about quite a bit there.
We did.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure you got your whole, I'm sure there's more to your story, but we got quite a bit of it out.
Yeah, that was good.
I think we should try to have you back after the fight.
There you go.
At some point
after
in time.
victory?
Yeah, after the victory.
Yes.
After the victory. Okay, let's get into the Would You Rather portion. So we got 10 questions. I kind of gave you a little heads up on this in the beginning or before we got on the show. There are 10 questions that I based off of the questions that I asked AI to provide. So I haven't even read these either. So we'll see how good they are.
All right.
Would you rather fight an opponent who's a world-class striker but weak on the ground, or a grappling wizard who struggles with stand-up? Well, we know the answer to this one.
Yeah, I would rather stay on my feet.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather train for 12 weeks straight with no breaks but guaranteed endurance, or train half as long but risk being unprepared for a fight?
12 weeks straight.
Figured you got good work ethic, so I knew the answer to that one. Would you rather have a walkout song that hypes you up but the crowd hates, or one the crowd loves but doesn't get you in the zone?
You got to have a song that's going to hype the crowd. I think that would be, and I was going to go with something crazy like for my next fight. I was thinking about something like just something catchy that everybody could sing along to or something, or dance to.
Pink Pony Club?
Well, not so much that one, but I was thinking like some Michael Jackson or something, but
that'd be good.
I don't even know. But yeah, I decided to go with All American, and
I think you're going to hype the crowd for that
I
one.
think so as well.
Yeah.
I think so.
What color are your trunks?
I think we're going black. My coach kind of takes the reins on that for me. We either go black or white. Just
Would have been funny to go yellow.
yeah,
Would have worked out for the Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that would have been
Yellow
I
and
didn't even
red.
think about that. But it just kind of makes the logos pop on the shorts.
Right,
and,
definitely does. Yeah. Would you rather fight in a packed local venue with all your friends and family watching, or a big stage like the UFC but no familiar faces in the crowd?
Ooh, which one's paying better?
Well, I think we know which one's probably paying better.
There's perks to both. Obviously, fighting in a big arena. Obviously, there's probably a big payday, but nothing better than hometown, in front of your friends and family, getting a good victory, partying after. You definitely got to take that.
Those are probably some wild things after partying after a good fight locally.
Yeah. Your adrenaline's pumping so hard after a fight.
And then you get your pizza, and then you go get your Busch Lights.
Yeah, I get like maybe 2 hours of sleep.
I'm sure.
My adrenaline's running so hard.
Would you rather cut weight the old school way with brutal sweat sessions, or try a crazy new diet trend that might not work?
Ooh, the old school way.
Makes sense. You never know what these crazy new diet trends will do for you. Would you rather face your toughest opponent ever in a rematch but know their game plan, or fight a complete unknown with no footage to study? That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
Good job, AI.
Gosh, I mean, they're both decent options. I mean, the unknown is tough because how do you get ready? You just stay ready, I guess. I would probably go with the rematch.
The rematch?
Yeah.
And know their game plan?
Yep.
Would you rather train with your childhood MMA hero for a day but never fight again, or keep fighting without ever meeting them?
Yeah, I'd have to keep fighting. I don't.
That makes sense.
Sorry, Stone Cold.
Would you rather have an epic comeback win in a fight that nobody sees, or lose a close fight that goes viral and gets you noticed?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, if it's a close fight, it means it was like a fun fight, like a good fight. But you don't ever want to lose. Yeah, I got to go with the victory.
There you go. There you go. Would you rather coach a beginner who's super dedicated but has no talent, or a naturally gifted fighter who's lazy and unmotivated?
Oh, you got to go with the person that's motivated and wants to work. I've dealt with both in all my sports, football, wrestling, MMA, the talented athletes who just don't quite care as much.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating at times, but then they come out and they blow everybody off the line. And it's like, damn.
Yeah. Do you
So
have
I get
any
it.
tricks to get to them, to get out of that laziness or unmotivated spot, or has it ever worked for you to get them out of it?
I just work hard because I want to beat them.
Well, right. Yeah.
And sometimes I will, I mean, talent can only take you so far. I think effort and hard work is going to take you a lot farther than talent ever will.
I agree with you. Last one. Would you rather fight in the early UFC days with no weight classes and wild rules, or in a futuristic MMA league with high-tech gear and new scoring? It's kind of a weird question.
Let's go futuristic.
Futuristic?
Yeah.
What do you think the futuristic would be?
I don't
High-tech
know.
gear. What would that be? Extra
Jetpacks?
fighting in the air?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Just like a wild fighting, like motor combat type scene, maybe.
You think like
On
a
floating rocks out in
could do that. I was thinking maybe like exosuits where you're punching harder. Like
There
the
you go.
Suits can
Robot
make you punch
suits or
harder.
something?
Then you could die from something like that.
Yeah.
Or something that like would take the I take it high tech gear with people worried about brain stuff. It like protects you from getting knocked out, but like you would just see who's going to get gassed first. So it'd
Gotcha.
be like you're just going to keep punching. Like body blows are still in, so your body could give out, but like it could be something like it'll just protect your brain. And then like who's gonna keep going the longest, and eventually somebody's gonna get tired.
There you go. That was the last question. I do have one other question because I've been watching a lot of that bare knuckle stuff. And I know a lot of ex-UFC fighters are kind of getting into that. Is that something you would pursue after you're done with the MMA stuff, or are you kind of against the bare knuckle stuff?
I am not against that at all. Like I told my coach, like, hey, I'm available. Like, and he has quite a few guys that are at a high level in the bare knuckle right now. And I'm like, hey, let me get a shot. Like, I know they'll get me some good matchups and put on some good shows, but I don't think my coach likes it for me, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my strong wrestling background, but like, I don't like wearing gloves. So to be able to,
So you already don't like wearing them.
yeah. So it would be awesome just to go bare knuckle.
Yeah. It looks
I would like to try it at least once. Well, yeah, you're getting cut up.
Yeah.
People are breaking fingers and
Yep.
knuckles, and
We watch it
it's
quite
nasty.
a bit.
It's nasty.
It's,
It's so much fun to watch.
It's great to watch. And it's just straight up brawl.
well, yeah, because it's 2-minute rounds.
Yep.
And who can't go hard for 2 minutes? I mean, that's crazy. It's fun. Yeah, I would definitely give it a shot.
Is there good money in that?
Yeah, it can be.
Can be.
Can
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it? I forget. Was it BKFC?
BKFC.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Are they the only promotion that's doing it?
No, there's a few others starting.
they're
to
the
rise.
biggest one.
And I just found out recently they're starting to do some amateur bare knuckle stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
what?
Jeez.
That's crazy. Yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah, it's in certain states, so I'm sure like South Dakota.
Yeah.
or whatever, Montana or something.
Right. Well, it's good to know that you might get.
Yeah,
Could be a
I'm
chance to
open.
see you on that.
There's I've gotten some cool offers too. Like Karate Combat has came to me and offered.
What's
me.
that?
So it's kickboxing, small gloves, and it's in like this little caved in arena. But there's no ground stuff. You can punch if your opponent goes to the ground, but if you lose contact, they break it, and I think they either stand you up or they call the fight.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. It's fairly new. I mean, they've put on quite a few shows, but it's growing in popularity. So they've reached out versus a very tough opponent. I'm like, how much you offer? Not enough.
Not enough.
Because this guy just got released, or he either got released or he didn't re-sign his UFC contract.
Okay.
And he was fighting for a top 5 heavyweight spot in the UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like,
So he'd be pretty tough.
oh, he'd be very tough. But like, I was excited. I was like, heck yeah! Like, this is a winnable fight, actually.
Right.
And if they're gonna pay me good, let's go. But
So with the LFA, are you contracted with them, or can you go do other fights?
So yeah, sometimes they'll tie you down to a 3-fight deal or something like that. This is a single fight deal. And if I was in a 3-fight deal with him and like Dana White Contender Series or PFL or UFC called, they would release me.
Got you.
But there's other regional shows that are similar to the LFA. If they called, I wouldn't be able to go.
Right. Makes sense. There's got to be something above
Right.
what they're doing.
Well, because that's the goal. This is the LFA is the number one feeding pole for the UFC, and that's all these athletes' goal. It's not to stay in the LFA.
Right.
It's to go to the big show and put on some good fights.
Makes sense. Is there anything else you want to get out to the viewers, or anything else we're kind of wrapping up there?
No, just tune in September 12th. You know, I'm going to put on a heck of a fight. I'm going to give everything I got. Turns out there's going to be some pretty high profile fights on that night. So be a fun night.
Should be. Sounds like it anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys fill the house, and well, it sounds like it's already going to be full.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good.
Exactly.
Bring the house down and do a little gambling afterwards. After your win.
Yeah. Pizza first.
Pizza first, Busch Lights, and then a little gambling.
There you go.
That's good. Make sure you guys follow Jordan on all of his social medias. We'll put them down in the description for you. Other than that, thanks to my co-host Vance Neidig. Without him, the show would not be what it is. Huge thanks to Jordan. Really appreciate you making time for us today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Keep on the lookout for more great episodes, and we'll see you guys next week.